Welcome to your new home for football, where you'll get real international coverage from real football fans. We're talking Brighton, England, Birmingham, England, London, England, Glasgow, Scotland, Dublin, Ireland, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and St. Louis, Missouri. You'll get coverage from all the big time leagues. Join in on live day match watch-alongs. Enjoy live football debates. Nothing but all things football. Catch us live 8 PM UK time on Thursdays on all major platforms, or listen to us the next day on the Sports Social Podcast Network. This is Football Nation, your home for all things football. Good evening and welcome to tonight's Football Nation podcast. Tonight I'm joined by Joe and FM King. Guys, how are you tonight?
I'm right. Got a cold, but yeah, I'm here. Happy mood, as you can imagine.
And King, how are you tonight?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you.
Good stuff. So tonight's episode is relegation and cup success. So we'll be taking you through the top 5 leagues in Europe just now. So the English Premier League, La Liga, League One, Bundesliga, and Serie A to see who's going to get relegated, as well as the 2 cup finals that are played over the weekend in Scotland, with the Scottish League Cup final between Celtic and Rangers, and Manchester United and Newcastle at Wembley. So to kick us off, we'll be talking about the Carabao Cup final first. Manchester United versus Newcastle. So, Man United 2-0 victors over Newcastle. The first trophy for Ten Hag. Could this be the first of many tonight? I'll come to you, King. What do you think? How did you see Sunday's cup final?
Yeah, I think Man U did what they needed to do. To be honest, without being a bit disrespectful to Newcastle fans, I felt like it was a training match for Manchester United, and I never really felt like they got out of second gear. As soon as they went 2-0, I said it was game over. I didn't actually mean it was going to be game over on that minute. I thought there'd be some more goals. I thought, this could be 4-2, 4-0, something like that. But they literally closed down the game after that, and there was chances from either side, but the game was pretty much done at 2-0. So I think maybe I know that they missed Nick Pope, and Newcastle have been a bit off form going into the game. I just feel like it was a bit of a missed opportunity. I know that Newcastle fans were happy because it's the first time they've been there, but I feel like the way that they've played some parts this season, they could have maybe done themselves a little bit better.
Yeah. What about you, John?
I'm ecstatic, as you can imagine. Our first trophy in 6 years. I feel bad for Newcastle. They, as Chris King said, they've had a bit of dip in form recently. I think their problem is they've got two good strikers in Callum Wilson and Isaac, but they're just not scoring, and that's their problem. They had quite a few chances. Like if you look here, like 61% possession. Like we let them have the ball because we knew they were going to struggle to score against that pivot, which I think at the moment that pivot of Varane, Casemiro, and Martinez is better than arguably any in Europe at this current time. So that they're playing so well, I just couldn't see them scoring all day. And like Casemiro getting the first goal, continuing his great form, and he also scored yesterday in the FA Cup as well. And then Rashford again. It's Rashford again, which what can you say about his form this season? But I think they just played us. I feel bad for him, but they just played us at the wrong time. We're in such good form at the moment. Positive, the most positive around the players and the manager that we've had probably since Sir Alex. So Yeah, just positive times for us at the moment, and I'm loving it. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the blow to Newcastle was obviously losing Nick Pope in the Liverpool game. That was a massive blow for Newcastle. I mean, take nothing away from. I mean, the whole Loris Karius was a kind of a bit of a pantomime in my opinion. I thought Karius had actually a good game.
I did. I thought he played really well for not playing properly for 2 years.
Yeah, I thought he had a very good game. I mean, he made some crucial saves to keep it at 2, to keep Newcastle in the actual game. I mean,
yeah, I think he got a lot of stick, which wasn't.
Yeah, I mean that's going to come part and parcel of a cup, especially a cup final. You're gonna have people trying to kind of get under his skin a little bit, try to get into the mental. But I mean, like Eddie Howe said, in the kind of
he made a really good save. Was it Bruno's shot?
Yeah,
and
that kind of first half. Yeah,
that was a great shot for Bruno.
I mean, I don't know what your opinion on. See Karius, do you think he deserves another chance at maybe not a big club, maybe to be a number one at another club again, or do you think that time at Liverpool has just kind of hampered him at all?
I think like a bottom Premier League club, I think it would be worth a chance. I saw like reports this morning, like Inter Milan. That's not right. He needs to go out on somewhere and play. He's not going to play at Inter Milan. It defeats the object.
I think he did well against an informed Manchester United side. I mean, I say informed. There's a couple of players that I think are carrying them to the level they're at the minute, but there is others that are playing fairly decently at an okay level. I think you take Rashford, Varane, Casemiro out of that team, I don't think they're where.
Martinez. I think that proved yesterday. It proved yesterday, like we're in amazing form, but he's basically been playing that first 11. Yeah. And he was forced to make changes yesterday. In that first half, we weren't very good yesterday in the FA Cup because he had to make the changes. We only started playing well when he made the changes and brought Casemiro, Martinez, and Varane on.
See, that's in my opinion, that could be a bit of a worry for Man United fans, because you look at, I mean, like the two you mentioned, Varane and Casemiro, they're not getting any younger as well.
And Rashford, really, because their only real goal threat looks like Rashford. They look so dangerous up top with him, and when he's not there, you worry where the goals are going to come from.
That's what I was just kind of maybe look at there. So you've got, I was kind of looking at here just now. You've got Marcus Rashford in the form of his life. They played Weghorst through the middle and put Rashford out on the left-hand side in the first half, or kind of towards the first half into some of the second half before Weghorst got taken off. That's when Rashford came into life. That's when he got that chance, the chances that they created, because he was playing through the middle. I've said this to you, John. I think Weghorst slows Manchester United down. I've said it to Boom as well. I think Weghorst slows Manchester United down. But my only thing I was going to say there, they can't play Garnacho every single game because he's too hot and cold.
Yeah, I know.
So
on Weghorst, I think he's getting a lot. I don't think he'll score many goals, but he does. If you watch the game, he does do a lot for the team.
Yeah,
like he does. He's a pressing monster. Like the amount of press, like he gets back. He'll be a DM if you want. He'll go all the way back and defend with Casemiro. He runs for days. But
yeah,
I know what you mean about up front. Long term, I wouldn't mind if like we've always had occasionally, like under Fergie, like we had Solskjaer wasn't a brilliant striker. We had Hernandez, who's that backup striker on the bench.
Yeah.
I think next season, I think he'd be cheap. I'd take him as a backup just to sit on the bench and be that Hernandez, be that Ollie. But I think next season, as you say, we need, since November, we've scored 52 goals, I think it was.
How cheap would you expect to get him? Because Burnley are obviously going to be coming back up.
He hasn't got long in his contract, so it won't be much. But I think his contract might even be up. It won't be much anyway, regardless. But yeah, so I'd definitely sign a striker in the summer. But since November, we've scored, I think, 52 goals. I only remember that stat because it's just like memes going around. But yeah, like even like people like Fred, like Martin, like I was giving belters to Fred last season. I don't know what Ten Hag's done to Fred, but he's been really good off the bench. He's actually scored more goals since the new year than Chelsea. So
Anyone scored more goals than Chelsea? Anyone scored more goals than Chelsea? I've scored more goals than Chelsea. Play Football Manager. But so the last kind of question regarding about Manchester United and Newcastle, is this the first of many trophies for Ten Hag at Manchester United, or was it just a bit of a flash? Could it just be a bit of a flash in the pan because there is other teams that potentially could knock them out of competitions, like in the next round in the FA Cup or the Europa League?
I think we've got a chance of winning something else this season. How we're playing, the form we're in, as long he's going to have to start rotating, and that's an issue. But yeah, I think we've still got a chance of either a FA Cup or we've got Fulham in the next round, which will be a hard game, but I think we can beat them. And then I'm calling it Manchester Derby in the final. And we beat them once and they beat us once this season. So that would be a cracking final.
I mean, Manchester City have got to get past their old man, Mr. Vincent Kompany, in the next round. Because they got Burnley. What about you?
Easy peasy, that is. They only struggled to get past the Fleetwood side that only had 10 men. I know they had a lot of chances and a lot of possession, but if you're struggling to put the ball in the back of the net against a 10-man League One side, then I think Man City will be able to blow them apart with the power that they've got. I think Manchester United will win another trophy this season, and I think it'll either be the Europa League or the FA Cup. I don't know which one, but I can see them winning something else.
Yeah,
and if we get a top 4 and 2 trophies in his first season, that's an amazing season. I wouldn't expect us to get top 4 this season.
For the future of Manchester United and Ten Hag, it really depends on what's going on off the field with the takeover and how they're backed in the transfer market. Because obviously other teams this season have had bad seasons. Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City are off. So, they're all gonna get better and buy players, and that has been one of Man U's shortfalls recent years is the recruitment. So in the future, I don't know. He probably will win trophies if he gets the recruitment right. This season, I can maybe see maybe one of the trophy.
I mean, he needs. I do agree with both you say. I think they will maybe win another trophy this season. But going on the recruitment side of things again, they get rid of a lot of deadweight at that club as well. There's a lot of players living off a wage like Phil Jones, possibly Maguire, McTominay as well. Possibly could be on his way out.
I'd be interested to see what happens because I think because of his contract, it's very interesting because I think we'll sign one more centre back in the summer, to cover competition on Varane's side, and that's basically. And then we'll get rid of either Lindelof or Maguire. I'd get rid of Maguire. Lindelof's actually played all right when he's come on this season. He's not had a bad season, but and I don't mind Lindelof. But I reckon it'll be the other way around because Lindelof's only got 12 months on his contract.
12 years.
That's
an Alan Podry type contract there.
Yeah, he's only got like 12 months on his contract. So I reckon they'll get rid of Lindelof, which is a shame.
I mean,
and I think Scott will go as well.
Yeah,
I think there's a big rebuild to do at Man U, but I don't think it's necessarily in the defensive areas. I think maybe a right back and get rid of Wan-Bissaka
Oh, I don't know. Wan-Bissaka's been really good the last few months. He's
he's good at defending though, but he's not great at going forward. So I think to take Man U to the next level, if they're going to be challenging for Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues, Wan-Bissaka's not the answer. Nah. He's not going to be the answer. He's not that quality. So I feel, from my point of view, a right back to come in and challenge the lot. You need probably another striker to get rid of Weghorst, because Rashford's good, but he's good from out wide. He can play up there. And then if Sancho and that's not going to come in, maybe somebody. Like, I do feel in forward areas of the pitch, you're quite light.
I think out wide we're okay. But I think
the right hand side is a weak point for United, because Anthony's not. He's not performed, in my opinion, as of yet, for the money that Man United spent on Anthony. I think he's got potential, but it's unlocking that potential, because you see him too many times try to do a flick, a trick, and then he gives the ball away, and he's put Man United's putting Dalot or Wan-Bissaka under pressure. That's the thing. So I think, depending, like King said, depending on if Sancho comes good, which I hope he does, because I've always liked Jadon Sancho. I think he's a fantastic player. But if he doesn't, but he likes to play from the left hand side, what he has done for Borussia Dortmund for a number of years, that could be a problem for Manchester United if Anthony doesn't wake up and start playing as a team instead of an individual. Put my teeth back in, Chris. But that's the way I see Man United kind of going forward. But
I think
the future is better for Manchester than what it has been in the last couple of years.
I think we'll definitely sign, before we'll move on, we'll get. I think we'll definitely sign 2 midfielders. I think Donny's days are done. He'll definitely leave in the summer, and I think Scott will leave. So I think they replace Scott with make Sabitzer still permanent. 20 million they're quoting for him, and he's been quite good. 20 million is a steal from Bayern for him, I think. And then they'll go for someone else to replace Donny. I'm not sure who yet, but yeah, that's what I think will happen. And then obviously a striker. So moving on to the next final, your beloved Celtic.
Jesus Christ, So this one up. I thought it was a very, very poor final, in my opinion. I thought it was a very poor final, but Celtic found a way to beat Rangers. They've won once against them in the league and drew twice with them, 2 each and 1 each. But the way I look at it is, it's a blow for Ian Beale, Michael Beale. that's a nickname we give him. So, but yeah, the ball for Michael Beale, because that was his big moment as it was built up in the papers. You're right, there, King.
Yeah, it's funny enough. Yeah, we had the same thing in our Discord the other day when we was watching the game, and one of us called him Ian Beale as well. And it's a little nickname that we've got going on for him, so it's made me chuckle.
But I mean, obviously being kind of Celtic minded, I thought Celtic were very good at pressing Rangers the way they found movement. The signing of the season for me for Celtic has been Aaron Moy on a free transfer from Shanghai Shenhua to get in somebody
really good in that game.
Yeah, he's we kind of passing to Greg Taylor, the way he's changed Greg Taylor. I know Greg Taylor's from where I live in Scotland. He's came on leaps and bounds. He was one of the favourites to get to leave a couple of seasons ago, and now he's virtually undroppable. I think you've got the Kyogo double as well. But Beale, in my point of view, got that midfield completely wrong. He put Kamara and Lundstrom, who cannot run to save the life of them, against 3 very hard-working midfielders in McGregor, Hatate, and Aaron Moy. They couldn't cope with it. The goal that Rangers got, It was a bit lucky. It was a good bit of movement from Morelos, but when Celtic went 2-0 up, I thought they might score another goal, but I don't see him scoring any more. I just
I think the stats, like looking at the stats here, I think they tell a different story. Like I only watched the highlights on and Celtic did look the better team from the highlights I watched. But the stats make it look a lot more even than it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think Celtic was the better team and deserved it. How do you think of the short term of Bill at Rangers, Chris? So far, do you think he's a steady pair of hands? Obviously, he used to be assistant for Gerrard,
yeah.
and then he went to QPR. He did quite well at QPR. He didn't stay there very long, but then he came back.
Yeah, I mean, for a guy who's only had virtually 6 months as a manager at QPR to come and manage probably one of the biggest clubs in Europe, right in Glasgow Rangers, with the kind of fan base that they've got, it's massive. Compared to where it was at QPR, the melting pot of Celtic and Rangers is completely different. Completely different from that. You're under a microscope as soon as you walk in those doors at Rangers.
Yeah.
And me personally, I don't think he's got the capability to do it, in my opinion. I just think he was the main man behind Gerrard's success at Rangers.
That's what I heard, yeah.
I don't see it. Yeah. I really don't see it. But aye.
Yeah, is it in his managerial style, is it similar to Gerrard? The way he sets that Rangers team up, or is it completely different?
Not completely different. I mean, it's virtually the same team he's got under Gerrard, apart from a few new people. But it's virtually the same team that Gerrard had. That's Rangers' biggest problem. I mean, look at Celtic from when Gerrard was when Steven Gerrard came in under Neil Lennon. Rangers played at 150 miles an hour. Celtic couldn't get out of first gear under Lennon. When Ange came in against Gerrard couldn't hack it. But then he went fucked off to Aston Villa and get sacked after Aston Villa because shit.
And today's been linked with a PSG job.
Who, Gerrard?
Yeah, the PSG job.
No way.
Yep.
Wow. Well, I have heard they want to sell off a lot of their players in the summer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Michael Beale's not done a bad job since he's been at Rangers. I think he's turned it round a bit. I think he needs some time. It's very new to management. I didn't watch a lot of this game. To be honest, I turned it off because it was boring. Like
I thought it was a bit boring as well. Yeah.
For a Celtic Rangers like derby, the Old Firm derby, it was shocking. So
it wasn't the same.
No, it wasn't. So I didn't watch much of it, to be fair. It didn't have that fight about it. It didn't have the bite of an Old Firm. It didn't feel like an Old Firm.
Nah, I mean, in some stages it felt like a bit of a training match for Celtic at some points, like the way they're kind of passing around. But like I said, Rangers, it was literally see all the papers up in Scotland leading up to the final. It says, oh, it was Rangers this, Rangers that, Rangers this, Rangers that. That Fashion Sakala, who said, we'll be beating the other mob. That just gave Postecoglou his team talk right there. They're talking about the other mob. They're calling the other mob, right? Let's just go and prove who the other mob actually are and go out and beat them.
Yeah,
so,
how do you think both of your seasons will go after this final? Like, obviously, it's always one of the big first finals of the year. Like, obviously, the Carabao Cup for us as well, and it can be that catalyst for the season, like we're talking about for us. Do you think that can be the same for Celtic?
Well,
do you think
Celtic are 9 points clear. We've got 2 points. We've got two games against Rangers left. One at Celtic Park, which is the next one, and then the last one after the split in May time at Ibrox. The league could be over by then. I just think Celtic have got such strength and depth. They can rotate a team and still look good. Whereas Rangers, they brought in Todd Cantwell from Norwich, who looks like
His attitude stink.
Yeah.
I've it's kind of one of my second teams.
Yeah,
Norwich,
Norwich.
because my dad,
Yeah.
and he used to be such a good player, but his attitude just stinks.
Yeah.
He didn't get. I think it was actually Aston Villa and a few other clubs he was linked with a few seasons back, and he didn't get his move, and he just threw his toys out of the pram, and didn't play anywhere near to his potential
Yeah.
ever since that, and he's just never got that form back. Obviously, he had a loan at Bournemouth last season, did okay, but yeah, he's not the player he was.
I mean, they got Cartman. I think they paid a couple 100,000 for him from Norwich. I think it's a waste of money. They could have got somebody like they had the chance to sign Lewis Ferguson, who we might have a chat about in Serie A, who's looking very good. Who's the next Rangers player's son? They had a chance to sign him on a free transfer, didn't. But I think it's Celtic's league to throw away. That's the thing. I don't see Rangers gathering 9 points plus a massive goal difference as well. I just don't see Rangers coming back. Next season might be different because Beale's talking about bringing in 4 or 5 players. I'm like,
I think the squad needs a refresh, doesn't it? I think they've got
it
quite.
needs-
I was reading earlier. I think that apparently they've got like a recruitment meeting next week or something, because apparently like they've got quite a lot of players out of contract and stuff this summer.
Well, Morelos and a person who's been linked with Leeds and Aston Villa, I believe, is Ryan Kent. When Gerrard was at Aston Villa, he was linked with Ryan Kent a few times, but Kent's out of contract. Morelos is out of contract. Somebody else, Al McGregor's out of contract. Well, he's 42 now, I think, and yeah, it's just Rangers need a massive clear out as well. Whereas Celtic, they'll sell players, garner gain more money, and then buy more players. Just that's the Celtic kind of mold at this moment in time.
Yeah, I think Rangers have got a lot to catch up on. Celtic still haven't they? I know that. I think he has done a bit better than Van Bronckhorst started the season off. But
yeah,
I still think there's a massive gap, and I think a lot of the Rangers players are quite inconsistent.
I mean, you look at Tavernier. I mean, he's been there since they were in the third division in Scotland when they got relegated. He's still there. McGregor's still there. Stephen Davis is still there. I mean, these are players that are getting on a bit. There's no youth coming through at Rangers. Well, there's one, Leon King, who's a very good centre half, but there's no youth.
How's the striker from Bayern doing? They've got a striker on loan from Bayern.
Tillman, hopeless. He was absolutely out. He's out his depth.
Because there was a lot of potential around that kid, but he's
out his depth. He's got no. I mean, you'll probably know what I mean, King, regarding Coutinho. He doesn't track back. He doesn't offer anything. See, if he's not at the ball with his feet, he's not doing anything. He's a waste of a jersey.
Yeah.
He's an absolute waste of a jersey. That's what he was like in that cup final. He was okay in the 2-each game at Celtic at Ibrox, but apart from that, he's not turned up for any derbies at all.
I've heard a lot of good words about him, to be honest, and I think they may have a cheap.
Yeah, they got a buy option on him.
Buy option on him.
Yeah. I saw a lot. I heard a lot of potential about him before. I've signed him on FM before, and he gets quite good before he obviously went to Rangers.
Yeah.
But yeah,
$4.5 million. He's buying the buyout clauses for him. And a lot of Rangers players, a lot of Rangers fans have said, don't take up the option because he's too hit and miss. But he's still a young boy. I mean, he's still a young boy. That's the thing. But
I think it definitely make them a profit, though.
Oh, yeah,
if he was to stay there a couple of years and
improve,
get really good, they could definitely sell him on for 20 odd mil.
Maybe a buyback clause from Bayern.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe I'll go back to Bayern. They need a striker.
So, moving on, we're now going to dip into our relegation battles. So, bring up the Premier League table first. So, we'll have a look at who's got who next. So, from 14th to 20th, so we've got Leicester versus Southampton next game. Massive game at the bottom of the league. How do we see that one going, guys?
I think Leicester win that one. I think they've had up and down form wise, but I think they're just in better form than Southampton, and I think they'll win that quite comfortably. I'm going to go 3-0 Leicester.
What were you, King?
Yeah, I think Leicester will probably beat Southampton. I was disappointed with Southampton the weekend because I said Southampton Leeds. Whoever wins that, whoever loses that will go down, especially if it's Leeds. I think Leeds managed to just pick up the win. I just think Southampton, they got that win after the manager came in, and then they've gone and lost to Grimsby and Leeds straight after that. I think Southampton, for me, are definitely down. I struggle to see Bournemouth getting out of it. The other one then has got to be between Leeds and Everton and Wolves, I'd say, because Everton at the minute are like, since they beat Arsenal, can't do nothing again. Their goals aren't coming from anywhere. I think their top scorer's on 3 or 4. Leeds can't seem to score a goal.
But you see they beat Chelsea 5-0 at the weekend.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Hold on, I've got to put something up. So McTyler 6-9-12. If you say West Ham are going down, I'm unfollow.
I think West Ham are probably in the best position out of them bottom clubs because if you look at the names that are in their team,
I think they've got the better squad.
Scamacca comes back from injury. Ings has just, I think, recovered from injury. So they've got 2 strikers that can get the goals. They've got Souček, Royce, Bowen, Zuma.
I think West Ham and Leicester have definitely got the stronger squads there.
West Ham and Leicester really shouldn't be down there.
No,
they shouldn't.
Definitely not. I'm not. There was obviously they approached. I can't remember who they approached, but he got turned down for the Leeds job. But it was about not enough. The players didn't think it was ambitious enough, the appointment. So I really don't understand the appointment. I think obviously the board turned down someone else. I can't remember off by heart who it was because it wasn't ambitious enough. But then they've gone.
Javi Gracia.
I don't.
Well, I think he's
appointment.
10th choice, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, you look at appointment.
You look at Gracia. He had an okay time at Watford, but eventually did get relegated. But if I'm a Leeds or Everton fan, I'd be worried. I would be worried because you look at, like you said, Everton, they've got no goal scorers. Leeds, they don't have any goal scorers either. Bamford's do nothing. They've spent £35 million on a striker who's not even started yet.
If Everton can get DCL back into the form he was in before his injury, then they'll be okay. But it's just getting into that form.
Yeah, I think if they can get him going, especially under Sean Dyche, I think they can be all right. But I've always rated Sean Dyche the manager, and what he done at Burnley is really underrated with the budget they had for so long. But they didn't even have that manager. They won 1 game on that managerial bounce, and that was it.
Yeah.
2 games, sorry. But even with Sean Dyche, I think it's too late. I think they should have made that appointment earlier and sacked Lampard earlier. Personally,
I agree.
I think they made that change too late.
Going on what McTyler said regarding about Moyes' team selections, I tend to agree, but also the injury situation at West Ham hasn't helped. You've had Scamacca out at one point, you've had Michael Antonio out at points, you've had Souček not being on form.
They started off the season with no fit centre backs as well.
Yeah, so that's where I think West Ham have struggled to pick up again, but there is shoots of improvement with the result of the weekend for West Ham, but they need a set team without any injuries. Antonio being injured would be a blessing.
I know
I do agree. Yeah,
I know we had a podcast a few weeks back. Really good one with the DJ at
DJ Russ.
DJ Russ at West Ham. He's the DJ from West Ham. Really good podcast. Make sure you check that out if you've not. But we had the conversation with him. But Tyler here in chat. Do you think David Bhoys will be here at the end of the season, or do you think they would make a change? There has been rumours around. I think the injuries. I think he can turn it around. I think he's done well the last few seasons there. I think he's got money in the bank, and I wouldn't make the change. What about you, Tyler? Being a West Ham fan, what do you think on David Moyes?
Well, I've been waiting for Tyler to answer. I think that if they were going to change, they would have already done it, because there's not really that many managers out there now that could come in and do a job. So I think he's going to be there to the end of the season. I think the only way he gets sacked at the end of the season is if they go down.
I agree. I mean, do you think this Conference League has made a massive part in West Ham season this season as well?
Yeah, I don't think they have the squad depth.
Well, I think
you saw it with Burnley as well when Burnley got Europa League under Sean Dyche. If you haven't got the squad depth, it can kill you.
Villa play West Ham not this weekend, next weekend. And knowing Tyler, he doesn't want to watch the game with me because he said they never win after they played in the European the day before. So hopefully that comes true.
So Tyler's responding. So yes, the payout, so they wouldn't do it. So it'll stick. He should have gone before the World Cup. Probably would agree. If we don't win the conference, he should be sacked. I think, see, the conference, because there's still so many good teams left in that conference. It's hard to. Is it Roma still in? Is it no Roma? The Roma.
Roma in the Europa League.
Let me just check. Let me see.
Yeah, Roma are in the Europa League because they qualified for the Europa League from winning the Conference
So right,
League.
so looking at it right there. So they've got Lazio still on there. They've got Anderlecht. They've got Anderlecht. They've got Nice. Also got West Ham. You've still got Ghent. You've got Istanbul, Başakşehir. You've got Fiorentina as well. So there is still some decent teams, but compared that to Premier League, well, so-called Premier League superiority, you would think West Ham are the favourites for that Conference League. But
I don't know. Lazio are good as well.
Lazio are quite good.
I think West Ham should definitely make the semis, maybe if not the final.
Yeah, I mean, West Ham beat Anderlecht this season already twice.
Yeah, I don't think Anderlecht are as good this season as they were under Company. I think they've dropped off a little bit.
Yeah,
Anderlecht actually haven't been very good for the past few years. Under Company, I think the highest position he recorded was 5th.
Yeah.
So out of those teams, who's joining Southampton and Bournemouth then?
I'm going to say Bournemouth, Southampton, and Leeds go down. I think Everton just escape under Sean Dyche.
King?
It's tough. I think Bournemouth, Southampton, and because I hate Leeds, I'm going for Leeds.
And
Tyler's going Leeds as well.
Taylor's going Leeds as well.
Apparently, Tyler said Villarreal might be in that.
Oh yeah, Villarreal are in that. Yep,
They love it.
Are probably favourites for it.
Yeah, that's who. I'm sure that's who Villarreal are playing is Anderlecht.
Yeah, Villarreal's probably favourites for that.
Yep,
they love a European Cup.
Yep, it's Anderlecht versus Villarreal and Lazio versus Alkmaar, and West Ham got Larnaca from Cyprus.
Maybe some Conference League watch-alongs are in order, Chris.
Maybe. Gary says Southampton, Leeds and Wolves. Welsh Dragon says West Ham. Oofed. Right, so our next league, I need to jump to the end, is La Liga. So this is an interesting one. I've not put another team in there, but I've missed out the two teams above. So you look at that and you look at one name and one name in particular, Valencia. How are Valencia in the trouble that they are?
We've actually got a video coming out on this very soon from Boom, which is going to be really interesting about their troubles. But how, like, such a massive club, probably looking at the traditional La Liga, you'd probably say a 5th or 6th position La Liga club after the big boys. I don't understand their fall. I think there's problems with the ownership.
Yeah, money and all that kind of stuff as well. Yeah,
he's not investing the money. The fans hate the owners. He's actually part owner of Salford as well, with Gary Neville and the class of '92 at Salford.
Yeah,
and he's also obviously put a lot of money into that. So I don't know. I don't know if he. Yeah, I just don't think they have the squad they had, and there's not the ambition there for the size of the club. I don't know what to add really. I can't. The
other three teams who have missed out stupidly are Espanyol, Celta Vigo, and the UEFA Sevilla, the UEFA Cup specialists, Sevilla. Right, so we can all say that Elche are getting relegated, don't you? I mean, unless they have a magnificent escape, it'll be the Great Escape in Spanish. So Valencia, Elche are getting relegated. You look at me. I'm looking at the tables just now. There is 4 points separating the bottom from 12th to 18th.
Yeah,
it's absolutely crazy. So again, I'll go around the shops. So King, who's getting relegated with with Elche?
I think it'll be Getafe and Real Valladolid.
What about you, Jono?
I think the same. That's exactly what I was going to say. I think Valencia's just surely they've got too much. Surely they can push out something. It'd be a massive surprise if they don't. And something like we'll go on to a big Bundesliga club got relegated a few seasons back, which I'm sure we'll go on to in a minute. And it'll be as big as when Schalke got relegated from Bundesliga.
So
a few years back,
Valencia's next game is away to Barcelona.
That's not one they're going to be targeting anyway. That's a free hit.
It's a free hit. Valladolid's next game is massive game for them. Espanyol. That's a big game. You've got Cadiz. They have got Real Sociedad tomorrow night. Almeria have got Villarreal. Sevilla have got Atletico Madrid. So then they've got Almeria after the game against Fenerbahce in the Europa League, and Celta Vigo have got Osasuna, and Espanyol have got like I said Valladolid, and then they're away to Real Madrid, and then they play Celta Vigo as well. So a couple of big games there coming up in La Liga for the ones at the bottom of the league.
How we're talking La Liga as well. I was going to give a score update. It's currently nearly half time in the Barcelona Real Madrid game in the Spanish Copa del Rey. Barcelona are currently 1-0 up with an own goal. So 1-0 Barcelona at the moment. So yes.
Our next league, we are going French. So we can see possibly who's going down here. Angers with 10 points. Again,
Yeah, they're done.
it's not looking good for the French team. League. So who do you looking at that? Who do you mean? There's a lot of Auxerre.
Very close.
It's very close. It is very close. After 15th up. So from 15th to 14th, there's a 5-point gap between Strasbourg and Montpellier, and then Nantes are on 28. Who do you think out of this one, King? Who do you think will get? It's only 2 can get relegated from this division.
Isn't there a playoff? Isn't that how it works? Like the Bundes? No, it's not. That's the Bundesliga.
That's just the Bundesliga. Yeah.
I honestly think the 2 that are in there are probably going to go down. The only other one that I'd maybe say is Brest, but the thing is, you look at the form there, and recent
That's
form.
horrendous form.
It's absolutely
for Troyes is just terrible. Like, if you can't pick up 1 win in what 6 games, like
one draw out of 6.
It's shocking. I mean, they can score the goals. Obviously, by looking at it, they can score the goals, but then they concede a lot more. So it's like, I think it'll be one of them bottom 3, though, to be honest. But I'd say if I'm placing a bet, I'd say that it's probably the 2 that are already in there.
So yeah, I agree. I'm just looking at that form. I think I can't see a win. I can't see them getting a win. They're clearly leaking goals. And
so in 2 weeks' time, it is Troyes versus Brest.
That's huge.
Troyes are at home, so depending on the results on other games,
when is that?
2 weeks' time, the 19th of March.
So whoever wins that stays up, I'd say.
So this weekend
Sunday potential watch along relegation league watch along.
So it's Strasbourg versus Brest this weekend.
Nice one for putting your name down for that one, John. I don't know nobody else wants to watch that. I mean, even the Troyes and the Brest fans don't even want to watch that.
Ajaccio, Ajaccio, whatever how they're pronounced. They've got Reims on this weekend, which we've spoken about before. They're a very good team, and then they've got Montpellier as well, who are just above Strasbourg. So there's a lot of big games coming up. And
they're the team who get fined every week, aren't they? Because their manager's not actually got his badges. Yeah, he's like with the football manager.
He's the one that West Ham fans want, apparently.
Yeah, it'd be like King taking over West Ham tomorrow.
I'd probably do a better job than David Moyes.
So our next port of call, we are going Bosch Bundesliga. So Schalke. So I'm not clipped it properly, so I'll just go through the table. Bundesliga table. So Bundesliga, there we go. So bottom of the league, 16 points is Schalke again.
That Hoffenheim, there's some big boys here. Stuttgart, Hoffenheim, Berlin. Wow.
Augsburg.
This is a massive relegation battle.
So
definitely a big boy going down.
So with the German league, as we kind of aforementioned there before, only 2 get relegated from the Bundesliga, and then 1 goes into a playoff against I think it's the 3rd best placed team in
Bundesliga 2. Yeah,
Bundesliga 2. So out of those ones, so we've got Schalke on 16 points. We've got Bochum on 19 points. We've got Hoffenheim on 19 points. We've got Stuttgart on 19 points. We've got Hertha Berlin on 20 points. Then we've got a 4-point gap to Augsburg. Out of those ones, Schalke have given themselves a little bit of chance. They've picked up 4 draws out of the last 5 games, whereas Bochum have only won once out of the last 5 games and got beaten every game.
Mm.
And Hoffenheim have lost the last 5 games.
Yeah.
So they're in absolute horrific form.
Yeah, I really like Schalke, and they've had some really good teams in the past, and obviously they only just come back up. So I'm going to throw in a lifeline. I'm going to say Schalke stay up, and Bochum and Hoffenheim go down. And I'm going to go Stuttgart in the playoffs.
Stuttgart in the playoffs. King?
I'd love to say Schalke would stay up, but for only getting 3 wins and scoring 16 goals all season,
Yeah.
I can't back it. I think they will go down, and I think Bochum will also go down.
So, Dino
And then
and
if Hoffenheim stay on the form that they're on, then they'll also be down.
So Dino in chat has put Schalke, Stuttgart down, and Bochum in the playoffs. Okay. Let's see who is currently in the playoffs for the Bundesliga 2 table.
What do you think of the? Obviously, it's a lot different. I like the Bundesliga. I've always kept an eye on the Bundesliga after the Premier League. It's probably the league I've looked up the most of the top leagues.
Yeah.
So, what do you think of the way they set up their promotion and relegation? Do you like it, guys, compared to the most leagues like the Premier League, La Liga?
Well, I mean, it's similar to think if you think on it. It's similar to our playoffs in England. If you think on it as well, but you've got the top 2. So you've got the top 2 go up, then you've got a playoff, like the championship playoff. You play like a one-off game. Yeah. So I think it works. I think it does work. But
I like it for Germany, but not for England. I mean, it's there, so it's like I'm used to it for their league. But I would like it brought into England, because why should we reward the third worst team in the division when you're taking then away 4 of the top 6 teams, fighting it out between the 2 of us in the league below?
They've struggled all year. The other team has pushed all year in their league to come up, and they have a more chance.
I love the way that the English game the way that our product is the best around the world at the minute, with all the sponsorship deals. There's just no need to change it. And I hate the managers like Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp that want to come in and get big teams in the leagues to below and stuff like this and scrap the Carabao Cup. I'm not being funny yet. All right, everybody says they hate the League Cup, but the League Cup's been there for years and years and years, and it gives teams that aren't necessarily top 6 teams a chance to win a trophy, because generally the top 6 teams do rotate a lot. So don't change the English football the way it is. It works absolutely fine. There's no need for it.
And also that playoff, the championship playoff is like the most expensive, like worth more than any game in the football.
Yeah.
Every year.
Minimum £100 million game, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
So what's everyone else's thoughts in chat? Would you have this for the English league, or would you keep it as is? Let us know in comments. And as well, if you are watching it as well on YouTube, again, put them in the comments or join our Discord as well. We will answer all your questions in there. But as we're going to the Bundesliga 2, so the team at the top of the league just now is Darmstadt on 49 points. Hamburg on 45 points, and Heidenheim, who are on 43 points. There's a bit of a gap between 3rd and 4th. But there's an old team, FC Kaiserslautern. They used to be a German powerhouse at one point.
Yeah.
Kaiserslautern. They're in 5th, so they could make a late push for the playoff position in German, the German Bundesliga 2. So, who did we say? So you said Schalke and Bochum going down, Boom and King, and who's in the playoffs? Hoffenheim. So it's basically keeping it as is. Cool. Right, and last but certainly no means least, we're off to eat some pizza and have some Serie A football. So, been a bit of an interesting year this year in Serie A at the top of the league, where Napoli are just running away with it and
Running
beating,
riot, yeah.
beating all teams. But at the bottom of the league, it's a wee bit more tighter. Sampdoria and Cremonese are probably relegated.
Yeah,
Would you say?
I'd agree. Yeah, I think the form of that whole bottom like six is not great, but so I can't see any of them picking up like the 5 or the points to even get out. So Sampdoria will need 9 points to even get out. I can't see them picking up points. They've only picked up 11 points all season, which is a shame because it's another big team, Sampdoria. So I think there's going to be a lot of big teams going down this season in the top 5 leagues, which is surprising.
What were you, King? How do you see this one going?
So I think I have to sort of agree with Jono with the Sampdoria thing. I'm surprised that they're in that position because they're not one of the biggest names in Italian football, but they're a mid-table, maybe top half of the league.
Yeah, mid-table.
Around
Conference.
Udinese, Bologna
Yep.
sort of level, somewhere between there. I think, to be honest, though, it'll probably stay the way it is. The only team I can see coming out of there is Verona, swapping them with Spezia.
Yeah,
Spezia's form's been a bit terrible of late.
I really hope for Verona to come out. Like I've done a big save with him a few years back and got him into Europe. And I have a bit of heart for Verona, so I really hope Verona can push something out and maybe Spezia go down.
I mean, looking at their form, it's all 6 of those teams. The only one that's in a bit of decent nick is Salernitana. They've won 2 games, they lost 3, but they beat Mons at the weekend there, but they lost. I mean, they lost on the Monday Night Football against Verona, which brought Verona back into the kind of contest, if you will. So, with them being only 3 points behind them two. So, so with that, so we're saying the same 3. Then maybe Spezia gets relegated.
Yeah, I'm saying Spezia go down, of Verona staying, and then everything else is the same.
Perfect. So that is the roundup for the relegation battles then. So thank you very much for tonight, guys.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure having a chat with you again tonight. King, where can we find you on your socials, please?
Follow me at FM King on Twitter, FM King 007 on Twitch, or Road to Legends Draft on Twitch, or here now and again as well.
Every now and again. we get with the cupboard.
Yeah. Come out for an appearance once every month at least.
Yeah, this is his monthly appearance. He needs to keep up a wee bit. He's probably a bit behind. And Jono, where can we find you?
You can find me at jono.tv on Twitter and everywhere else, and the Football Nation podcast. I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone this week. We've been pushing content out. Me, Chris, Boom, King, and everyone, and we've done, and everyone in the team has just been smashing out content this week. We've been doing some really good stuff with non-league as well, and we have gone from 119 subscribers to 269, nearly 270 in a week. We've had our first 1K video, which is now on 5K. We've had 2 more videos after that on 1K as well. And really big growth, up to 10K views on our channel. We really appreciate all the support everyone has given us. We'd really like to hit that 300 soon. So make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and turn that bell on so you don't miss an upload on YouTube. Put in the comments any topics you'd like us to speak about in the future. And back to Chris. This is the Football Nation, your home of all things football. Back to Chris.
You just literally take all my lines.
Did you see Jono there? Man U win a trophy, and Jono's like, Football Nation, home of everything football. Exactly. How cool he thought he was. Have you applied for the next 007 James Bond movie or something without us knowing, Jono? Come on.
That's my lines.
Yeah, chat. Get that in the comments. How cool do you think Jono looked there? Like, ooh, yeah.
But guys,
come at me, baby.
But guys, I just want to echo what John said. Thank you very much for all the support you gave us over the last week, I would say. But you can find me on Twitter, Chris_Watt89. Thank you again, guys. Remember, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, whatever platform you're using.
TikTok.
Thank you very much. TikTok, yes. TikTok, Instagram Reels, everything. But again, thank you very much, guys. It's been a pleasure. Good night and God bless.